once again, and it was Garcia landing last. Garcia sticking the jab as his corner advised. Got good hand speed. And he could hook off the jab, but he gets battered backward as he tried a right hand and ran into a big shot from Armenta. So they punched it once, and it was Armenta prevailing big time.
Yeah, Garcia was a little off balance because he loaded up so much on his own shot. Garcia's the kind of fighter, and we saw this when he fought Julio Garcia in his last fight, which was a great fight. Garcia's the type of guy, hey, if you stand outside and just box nicely with him, he'll box nicely with you. It's when you hit him that he comes right back. And that's what's happening tonight. If Armenta forces the pace, Garcia will get into a fight with him, even if it's not necessarily the best strategy for him.
It's been early, but they're showing signs of a definite rumble here. Two middleweights. George Armenta, knockout artist. Irving Garcia coming off the only loss of his career. A controversial, exciting fight. Armenta in the white. Got a high guard. He's open to the body, Steve.
And we mentioned the tail of the tape that Armenta, or actually during our behind the numbers, that Armenta had a little bit of trouble making weight. He's 156. He finally scaled for this fight. But he first came in at 58. 2 pounds off. I don't know. Does it make a difference? Maybe, maybe not. Depends how hard he had to work to make 156.
Armenta with another low blow. Warned by referee Dan Stell to keep him up. Armenta with that lead right. Now he's forgetting about defense again, Steve. As he runs into 2 rapid rights from Irving Garcia. Now Irving Garcia jumps forward and launches his attack, and backing up for one of the few times in the fight is George Armenta as he's forced to reset. Short little left hook from Irving Garcia.
And this is a big change, Nick, because Garcia, we thought would be the boxer. He was the boxer in the first round. If he can back Armenta up, I think he's going to have a huge advantage.
Good point. He's got a nice tight guard, Steve, does Garcia. His hands are close to his chin. He's protecting himself very well. Elbows are in tight. Armenta having a bit of a problem here late in round 2 of finding a target. Short with the jab is Armenta. Short again.
Stop! Step back. Stop. Let him out. Let him out. Good. Let's go box. Time! Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go.
End of the second round here in Lemoore, California. We talked to George Armenta before the fight, naturally, about his strategy. He intends to make an impact.
I like to apply pressure. I like a lot of action. I think the audience likes action, so I don't like to leave it boring. I don't like to leave it to the judges, because sometimes, you know, you never know what might happen in this sport. So I try to apply pressure, and maybe they'll crumble if I apply a lot of pressure to them.
Every time that he throw that crazy stuff, you got him crossed over. All right? When you cross him over, you got to attack him. He already off balance. He's off balance fighter. He's a sucker.
You're not counting with that right hand, baby. Give me that right hand. Count
my pick.
Come on.
Al Scott wants his fighter to let his hands go a little bit more, too. One of the strategies was to smother Irving Garcia's hook, but you got to throw the combination. He did it very well, Armenta, in the first round. Had to back off as Garcia seemed to have momentum there in the second, Steve. How do you have it after 2?
I gave both the first 2 rounds to Irving Garcia. I just feel that while he doesn't seem to be the biggest puncher in the world, his hands are a little faster. Punches might be a little bit shorter. And he's more flexible in the upper body. You know, he's moving and dipping in and out and bending over when he's on the inside.
Really has all the moves and all the punches, but the early impression of Armenta is a little bit more. I thought he was a little rough around the edges brawler, but he throws some crisp shots and hits the mark pretty well, I think.
They're both real relaxed in there, I'll tell you. Well, Armenta, he's been in a lot of tough fights. You know, he's part of that ballroom boxing in Glen Burnie, Maryland, and he's a big favorite down there. You see the interesting thing here. Garcia turned pro well before Armenta, yet look who has more bouts and more rounds. Armenta. Garcia's just really advanced at a very slow pace.
Armenta been matched pretty tough, too.
Sure has. Dan Rafael of USA Today, who's gone to a lot of those ballroom boxing fights, says that, hey, if Armenta was just protected a little bit, he'd be 14-0 instead of 11-3.
Jab at once, and no doubt that they want Garcia to stay on that jab. Another low blow.
They seem to be trading low blows.
You understand me?
All right, second caution, he told him. So when do you start taking points, Steve? At his discretion, right?
Time.
Well, if it's a second caution and a second
let's
hard
go.
warning, then you take it next. Next
You
time
okay?
he does it.
Next one's gonna cost you. You understand? Bring him up. Let's go. Time in. Let's fight.
So next will be how many?
You know,
3 strikes and you're still alive.
Yeah, right. You know, we had a fight, Nick, I think it was in Lincoln City, where the referee made about, what, 53 warnings before he took a point away. Referees back themselves into corners by issuing stern warnings because then they have to start taking points away. And when it's early in the fight, that can be a huge factor.
No.
Off balance is Garcia once again. Didn't look like he got put cleanly.
No, he got pushed.
Push. Let's go.
This is a spongy ring. We walked it earlier, and it's very soft.
Favors an aggressive
Slugger, huh?
fighter, yeah.
And that's Armenta, but give it to Irving Garcia. He is not just trying to outbox. He is willing to stand and trade, and that's the trait we saw in that loss, that exciting fight to Julio Garcia. A much bigger guy. Irving Garcia, perhaps a natural welterweight, Steve.
Well, you know, his people tell us they'd like him to get down to welterweight.
Oh, nice right hand by him. Not a lot of sting on it, but he followed with a left, and that will score and win rounds for you. But Garcia has to stay busy. Trying to be elusive. Gets pushed back again. It just seems that Armenta is the stronger guy.
Armenta using his head on the inside a little bit, too.
Okay, stop that. Let's go. Watch your heads. Let's go.
Closing out the third round here. They're scheduled for 8. As you said, you can't afford to coast and give one away. This is a close one.
Good job, coach.
¿Qué se para? ¿Qué sí se para? Dame grasa, ponle grasa ahí. Ok. Coge balance,
Gotta get better balance.
Vamos a estar más vivos. Hay que poner más presión. No te pega la soga, no te pega la
We
soga.
gotta be alert. Don't get on the ropes.
Vamos a trabajar más. Hay que tirar más.
We gotta throw more punches.
Tú no estás cansado. Pero vamos a soltar esas
You're
manos.
not tired.
Vamos a soltar las manos, ¿ok? Tú querías ganar esta pelea, ¿no?
Action from round 3, and Nick, some of the best punches in this fight have been low. See, I tell you, just before that right hand by Armenta, Garcia landed a low shot. And here you'll see their feet get tangled up. Yeah, that's why it was Armenta coming forward and their legs crossed, and that's why Garcia went flying into the ropes.
Let's go, box.
Starting the 4th here in Lemoore, California. It's Irving Garcia in black, and in the white, George Armenta, Silver Spring, Maryland. Close fight, good good pace. Instructions from the corner, use the ring and be busier. Irving Garcia, good ideas.
He can't help himself. He likes to fight.
Oh, he digs that left to the body. Doesn't deter Armenta. Gives you an idea that the power doesn't seem to be getting to Armenta by any means, Garcia's power. So he may not have the greatest of whacks, but he could outwork Armenta. But there it goes again.
Time. One point low. 1 point low. 1 point low. 1 point low. Get to the corner.
Armenta asking apologies. Try telling that to the guy on the canvas.
You got a point deduction.
Stevie has all the time he wants to recover, correct?
5 minutes.
75 minutes.
Looks like he's going to take a good portion of it.
He should. He's been hit 3 times there. Well, take it out of me.
You okay? Okay. Bring him up. Okay? Bring him up. Let's go. Time in.
Steve, good idea, bad idea. Why not take longer?
Was there a point deduction?
I didn't see him go to anybody.
I didn't see a point deduction.
But he said it was a point. He verbalized it, but he didn't go to the judges. Dan Stell is the referee. And we're taking that as a point deduction. We're assuming. We heard him say it. Nice right by Garcia. Another nice right as he counters every time. The thing I like, Steve, is each guy trying to punch with the other, not waiting.
And very interesting to see, how a fighter reacts when he's punched low actually how both react, because the guy punching low, Armenta, does he all of a sudden decide to stop throwing body punches, take them out of his game, doesn't want to get DQ'd? Usually fighters go right back to the body after they've lost points.
He ripped the right there to the body.
Yeah,
And another one, and he was right on the belt line with that.